The race for clean transportation is on, and China is in the pole position. We're talking BYD Han EVs clocking in at around $45,000, taking on Tesla's Model 3 for a fraction of the price. But it's not just electric cars. China's dominance in solar panels, wind turbines, and battery tech is making them a global leader in the green energy revolution. So, what's the secret sauce behind China's green surge? Is it all sunshine and rainbows, or is there a bit more to the story? China's commitment to tackling climate change goes beyond international agreements. Faced with worsening air quality and the limitations of relying on fossil fuels, they recognize the urgency of decarbonization not just for the planet, but for their own citizens' health. Additionally, they saw an opportunity to leapfrog established automakers struggling with outdated technology and dependence on oil imports. The strategic foresight led China to wholeheartedly embrace electric vehicles. While Western giants clung to familiar internal combustion engine technology, China aggressively invested in battery-powered EVs. A dominant position in the global EV market, data from EV volumes paints a clear picture. In 2023, China accounted for a staggering 70% of the 14 million EVs sold worldwide. Of those, 8.5 million were purely electric, demonstrating China's focus on zero-emission solutions. This dominance extends beyond cars. China's rapidly electrifying all forms of transportation. Michael Bernard, a renowned technologist with extensive experience in Asia, highlights the country's remarkable pace. They're electrifying everything vastly faster than the rest of the world combined, he observes. From 1.2 million electric trucks and buses on the road to a massive 43,000 kilometers of high-speed electric rail, China's displacing traditional transportation modes and significantly reducing reliance on aviation. The shift towards electric buses is particularly impressive. In just 7 years, from 2015 to 2022, China went from a diesel and gas-dominated fleet to one where 27% of buses are electric, with a growing preference for pure electric over hybrids as economics favor them. This rapid adoption stands in stark contrast to the West, where the transition has been much slower. Looking ahead, China's commitment translates into ambitious emissions targets. According to the World Resources Institute, China's road transport emissions are projected to peak well before 2030, outpacing both the European Union and the United States. Furthermore, having honed their skills and established a reputation for high-quality EVs, Chinese automakers are setting their sights on global dominance. Their presence is already significant in Australia and Southeast Asia, and they're now making inroads into Europe and eyeing the U.S. market. This rapid rise has Western automakers scrambling. Luca De Meo, the CEO of Renault, acknowledges the challenge. They are very competitive in the electric car value chain. I think they are a generation ahead of us. We need to catch up very, very quickly. Ford CEO Jim Farley echoes this sentiment, highlighting the potential risk to revenue if they cannot compete effectively with Chinese EVs. A common criticism of China's EV industry is the use of government subsidies to keep prices artificially low. However, this narrative ignores the long-term vision and strategic investment behind China's EV revolution. They're not just building cars, they are building a new transportation ecosystem with significant environmental and economic benefits. The West is at a crossroads. Will they learn from China's example and accelerate their own transition to EVs, or will they be left behind in the dust of a clean transportation revolution? While China does offer incentives for both consumers and producers, the bigger picture reveals a long-term industrial strategy, not just short-term subsidies. Chinese EV buyers enjoy benefits like tax breaks, while automakers receive production subsidies for over a decade. Additionally, discounted land, low-interest loans, and research grants from local governments further bolster the industry's growth. The West is responding. The U.S. offers incentives through an Inflation Reduction Act and tariffs on Chinese EVs. They also pressure Mexico to limit Chinese suppliers. The EU launched an investigation to allege dumping practices. But a deeper analysis reveals a more strategic approach by China. Michael Bernard argues that China's advantage lies in its long-term vision. They didn't just incentivize EVs, they built an entire clean energy ecosystem. China's foresight in the 80s and 90s focused on developing crucial technologies, wind turbines, solar panels, batteries, at scale. This fostered robust domestic supply chains with shorter geographical distances, creating clusters of production for maximum efficiency. This translates to a 40% cost advantage compared to the US or Europe due to better purchasing power parity. Western economies with their organic dispersed growth haven't replicated this model. They lack the significant subsidies currently fueling accusations against China. However, Bernard highlights a crucial point. The West missed the boat on long-term industrial policy, allowing China to dominate these critical technologies. And the consequences are becoming clear in the race to clean transportation. Why bother when China remains the world's biggest polluter, heavily reliant on coal? China's dominance is undeniable. Global Energy Monitor reports that they have over 1,100 gigawatts of operational coal power capacity, 1.5 times more than the next 9 countries combined. Additionally, they have plans for further expansion. However, a closer look reveals some nuances. GEM also highlights that China has retired or shelved 775 gigawatts of older, inefficient coal plants. These plants emitted significantly more carbon dioxide per unit of energy produced. While clean coal is a myth, replacing these older plants with newer, cleaner technology represents a 40% emissions reduction, a significant step even if the overall number remains high. China prioritizes energy independence. They acknowledge climate change and their role in it, but they also face the challenge of lifting millions out of poverty. Their focus has been on building infrastructure to support this growth. However, this growth model is changing. China's infrastructure boom is nearing completion, leading to a flattening demand for coal. Additionally, coal plants are primarily used for peak demand, similar to how the U.S. utilizes natural gas plants. China's coal capacity doesn't directly translate to constant, high-emission operation. They prioritize cleaner options when available and utilize coal strategically for peak demand. China's massive coal capacity raises concerns about its commitment to climate action. However, a closer look reveals a more nuanced picture. China utilizes a merit order system prioritizing the most cost-effective energy sources. New coal plants must now operate at a minimum 30% capacity, making them less profitable. David Fishman, an energy expert, predicts China's coal consumption will peak in 2023, plateau in 2024, and then decline. The International Energy Agency even calls for China to build 30% more wind and solar over the next few years than the entire rest of the world combined. China's approach to decarbonization focuses on 3 pillars: electrify everything, build massive renewable capacity, and invest heavily in transmission infrastructure, particularly high-voltage direct current for long-distance power movement. Pumped hydro storage, which uses gravity to store energy by pumping water uphill during low-demand periods and releasing it through turbines during peak demand, is another key element of China's strategy. They not only boost significant existing pumped hydro capacity, but also ambitious plans for further expansion, aiming for 365 gigawatts by 2030. This translates to potentially 8 to 15 terawatt hours of energy storage. China's advantage lies in its vast size, roughly equivalent to the US and Europe combined, and this allows efficient transmission of solar energy from western regions to eastern demand centers, maximizing its utilization for evening peaks. Furthermore, a 2023 survey by the European Investment Bank revealed that 73% of Chinese citizens view climate change as a major threat. This strong public sentiment provides strong backing for the leadership's push towards an energy resolution. Hey, we hope you found this video informative. If so, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon for all the latest updates.